I got money on my mind.
What's up? You rocking with Senior, and I'd like to welcome you to the Hood on Lock.
What's up? What's good? And as always, I'd like to welcome you motherfuckers to the Hood on Lock. Immediately, we back with a motherfucking other one, y'all. Today, we greenlighting this bitch 3 times, y'all. Yes, I'm greenlighting this bitch 3 times today with nothing but straight content. So let's go. Uh Today's show is crazy. Uh a nigga got a 11-year-old pregnant. I believe she's now 12. And after DNA testing, it was proven he's the father. The nigga walks out of his bond hearing as if he doesn't give a fuck because he knows he's pretty much through for. Well, we definitely gonna tap into that subject, but I also got a few more topics for you today. But as always, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that returned. I see Miss Goldie made sure she came back in the building. Yes, we at it again, Miss Goldie. I'm greenlighting this bitch 3 times today. We got my fam bam Miss Howard in the motherfucking building. We got my girl Vicky Love. Definitely tap back in, and my 213 star James Hudson in the motherfucking building. Hey, man, I should have to tell y'all though. Y'all know the show the Hood some love. Came on the screen. Matter of fact, let me put that bitch up there. Y'all show the Hood love, man. We greenlighting this bitch 3 times a day. But I definitely appreciate everything. My nigga SL definitely to tap back in the building, Inglewood's finest. And I want to say shout out to my TikTok fam that's watching. And I also want to give a shout out to my Instagram fam that's watching via Instagram Live. So, and in a minute, I'm gonna have Clubhouse back on here as well, y'all. So we going up. Look at my nigga E-Dot that tapped in on the Instagram Live. Yeah, the Hood on Lock is taking over. Y'all pay close attention. All these hoe ass bloggers are gonna try to figure out what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, so they can imitate and copy me like they been doing. But at the end of the day, like I told you guys, the Hood on Lock is greenlit on every platform, y'all. Let's motherfucking go. Before we get to the main topic, though, we're gonna go ahead and tap in with the first topic. The first one is what's good, Ida? I see you on the IG live. I appreciate you watching over here too because I need people on different platforms to watch to help bring attention. So I definitely appreciate that, folks.
Them more.
You came with me on all the
hours
platforms.
Reveal about that night.
We're in apartment 3.
Through the years, Christmas Eve was a special night for Quarnita James and her 2 sons.
Everybody was happy.
Always a beautifully decorated tree and lots of photos of Christmas sweaters, funny hats, and hugs for as long as 16-year-old Jalen. Christmas Eve, the family wants to forget.
It makes me sad that they even had to go through something like that.
It's 8:09 p.m., December 24th, 2019. Quarnita says her teens suddenly find police beating on their door.
Okay, listen, at some point this door's
His big handgun.
Hey, get down the ground, you need.
The gun is aimed at his head when police wrongly target him as they barge
I
into
don't
their
think they got a
apartment without a
warrant.
warrant.
It happened
Without a
so
warrant.
fast. I just remember opening the door and then being in handcuffs on the ground in the hallway.
Door open here on the front.
As scared as Jalen was, he was more afraid for
Without
someone
no
else.
warrant, y'all. No warrant.
Terrified of what officers might do.
Do you have a gun? Come on. Get on your knees.
At gunpoint, they order Lazarick, who was just a 7th grader at the time, to the floor. What are you feeling at that moment?
Honestly, I was scared because I was like, okay, anything could happen at this moment.
Do you think you might have been killed that night?
I very easily could have been killed that night.
What you've just witnessed is just one encounter between police and the teens that night. It all happened here at this apartment complex near the Red Line at the Loyola University stop. The CBS 2 investigators have now obtained body camera footage of an unbelievable 20 minutes that led up to their terrifying ordeal.
Who started this? What happened?
Those body cam videos,
Originally came as a suspicious person. 6 male blacks in the stairwell.
plus police dispatch radio transmissions, now reveal how several other innocent young black males in the area were also targeted that same night.
Do we have anything besides them being a
That's
suspicious
your
person?
profile, y'all.
Listen, as a sergeant
Still
heading to the
happening.
scene wants more information.
They said, what are they being chased for? Suspicious person? Is that all we got?
The confusion about who police are chasing and why gets even worse for Jalen. Did it seem to you like they were disorganized that night?
Very. When you run into officers as many times as I did, they're disorganized.
Disorganized because when Jalen was held at gunpoint, it was actually the 4th time he was confronted by police that night. 20 minutes earlier, around 7:47 p.m., was the first time police take him down. It's hard to see in the darkness, but that's him getting tackled.
So I immediately put my hands up. They bring me down, cuff me right here.
He was a junior at Sullivan High School at the time and a standout football player and champion wrestler. He says to avoid the possibility of getting shot by police, he made sure he did not resist.
I was always taught to like always respect them and like never run, never talk back, never do these
But
things.
see, you had a
to
warrant,
the
folks.
police,
They didn't have no
but
warrant for this.
that
boy
was
or
because
his
of what
apartment.
they do to people like me. So
People like you?
yeah, black teenagers.
It screams misconduct.
Al Hofeld Jr. is the family attorney.
It's a way of policing that's dehumanizing and frankly racist.
He is then questioned about guns and if he really lives here in Rogers Park.
What's your name, man?
He gives his name and address. But they don't believe him. And while handcuffed, take his keys from his pocket, go through his building and open his apartment door.
Is it?
And then they let him go.
Hell, we apologize, man. It's just bad timing, man.
Yeah, you can't do all that
Wrong
shit.
place, wrong time, all right? So that's why I had them uncuff you right away.
But after that apology, a few blocks away, Jalen is again stopped
The
by
branding is all the same.
He's
The hood
cleared
unlocked.
again. And as he
Everything
heads
is the
back to
same.
his apartment complex, another team of officers is still on the hunt, searching someone else's unit. Listen, as they admit they have no clue who they are looking for.
What are these guys wanted for? I don't know.
But as they leave, they see Jalen, who is going back to his apartment. It's the 3rd time Jalen gets stopped and questioned by police that night. Eventually, they let him go upstairs through the back door. That's when these cops came banging at the front door.
Get down on the ground.
You remember them, the officers who forced him to the ground at gunpoint.
Again.
Eventually, a sergeant arrived and
Again.
told the officers to let both minors go. But when they asked officers why they used force on them, police told them this.
Don't bitch. That's how they talk to niggas, y'all.
What does
Don't
it say
bitch.
to you that
Y'all
one of
arrest
them
this
would
boy
make
multiple
a
times
final
for no
comment
reason?
saying, "You're gonna get coal for Christmas"?
It makes you feel like disgusted. It's very belittling to just diminish
Hey,
what I
soldier,
went
now
through.
that's
The
different.
family
You're supposed to have
filed a
the
formal
warrant
police
first.
misconduct case 2 years ago, and the Chicago
You
Police
could have beat
Department,
that. I hope
they
you
say they
fought that,
can't
my
comment
nigga. You could have
because
definitely
it's
beat
all
that.
still being investigated by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. In the loop, Dave Savini, CBS 2 investigators.
All right, I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link in the chat. Oh, sorry, in the chat, man. Feel free to come up. Feel free to call in. I want to hear your opinion on the story we just watched. The calling numbers at the bottom of the screen. Salute to everybody that's following me on Instagram and TikTok, showing support across multiple platforms. I'm the first one to do it, and I'm gonna keep pushing this. Once I get my StreamYard key on TikTok, though, it's gonna be a whole lot better. I don't know how long that's gonna take though. Hold on, I'm doing the wrong. Put the wrong one up, y'all. Hold up. All right, there we go. All right, so y'all let me know what y'all think about this story before we go on to the next one, man. This young man was harassed. They went inside his home without no warrant. He was arrested on 2 or 3 different occasions. One, knocking on his door, he comes out to see what's going on. Guns automatically drawn on this kid. They're looking for a suspect, but they don't know what he looks like. They have no description. They honestly don't know who the fuck they looking for. Appreciate you, James. Appreciate you, folks. Like, for real, folks, at the end of the day, and shout out to everybody watching on IG and TikTok. We live on all platforms. Appreciate it. What's good to my nigga Miguel? Why do they feel like it's okay to harass our young black men? Like, this shit is just okay. Make it make sense. See my nigga Reek is on the IG live. What's good with you, folks? My girl Vicky just tapped in. What's good with you, baby girl? What you think about this shit if you called it?
How what? You talking about the police officers?
Yeah, the young man right here being arrested 3 times in one night, where he's had guns drawn on him, and they don't even know who they looking for. No warrant, no nothing. They just knock on your door and pull you out. No warrant. Don't even know what the suspect looks like.
I don't know. In some situations, I understand hysteria. In some situations, it depends on what the situation is, though.
Well, you understand our rights, right?
Yeah, I'm saying make your money. Get your money for that shit. If they don't follow protocol, then you go to court and you fight that and get your money.
Right. Now, with the rise of us being killed for any and everything.
No, that's not it. That's not true.
No, this could have definitely escalated to that.
The rise?
That boy would have came out. Yeah, the rise.
What's the rise? Any headlines you see and did not follow through with the stories, do not take them seriously. They're bullshit. Anything that they're putting out there is bullshit. I've looked up all the stories.
I'm talking about the ones that I am aware of where either they're being tried, convicted, or even acquitted in obvious killings that we've seen.
Like what?
All the ones we've seen in the last few years.
And how many is that?
We probably about, in the last 3 years, probably about, 20, 25? Eric Gardner.
I can tell you about, let's say about 5 were probably unwarranted after doing my reserch.
Man, you full of shit, Vicky. But
I'm not.
If you say research, I'm gonna go. Well, let me tell you this though. Let me ask you this: Does your research? Let me ask you something. Does your research involve? Because we've seen the instances where we clearly seen through video what happened, and cops still get acquitted of it. So, are you taking into account any of those, or if they're acquitted, they're automatically just not guilty of what we just saw happen on camera?
For instance, Jacob Blake. You remember that one?
Jacob Blake name definitely sounds familiar. Go ahead.
He was the one who was shot 7 times by the cops while he was walking away, allegedly.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what happened. He actually raped his girlfriend in front of his children, and he was there, and she called the police because he was trying to take their car.
Okay.
Not their car, it was her car. It was her rental and stuff in her name.
And hold on. And this is the situation that got him killed, right? Or shot?
This got public everything. People was marching saying his name, justice. All that.
Hear me out.
And no one bothered to even look into the story.
Vicky, hold on.
The story was that the cops came.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on. I want to verify what you're saying.
Okay.
So the raping and the stealing of the car that you just spoke on, was that the incident that led to him being shot and killed?
Well, what the incident was the girl. You can hear her in the calling the police and stuff. She's like, he will not give me the car and stuff. They look up and they see he has a warrant out for sexual assault.
Okay.
So they come and they telling him, you know, it's all on film. You, sir, you need to come with us. Sir, you need to come with us. He's not listening. He's not having it. Fuck y'all. Fuck you. You know, keep on walking off. They try to wrestle him to the ground. You know, okay, they're like, tase, you know, let's tase him now. So they start tasing him. He's taking the prongs out the taser. Fuck it. I ain't doing none of that shit. Fuck y'all. You know, like, what the fuck are they supposed to do? You know, and then he's walking over and he picks up a knife.
Okay.
After all that, he go over and pick up a knife. And he's getting into a car, which is about to be a high-speed chase with children in the back, Grand Theft Auto. So, what? And everybody's like, justice for him. He survived, too. He survived.
Okay.
But
he's in
the
a
thing
wheelchair.
is, he turned around.
Go ahead.
And he got to the car, the children in the back and stuff. He turned around, about to lunge, like he's about to come to the cop and shit. You know, so they shut his ass up. Because you a dumbass nigga at the end of the day. Sometimes you got to look at these cases and be like, nigga, you was on some bullshit.
Okay, now you see how you just pulled that one case out the air? Okay, what about Dante Wright?
Let's do Breonna Taylor.
Hold on. Let's go to Dante Wright.
Okay, Dante Wright.
Okay. He was sitting in the car. Two police officers approach his vehicle, one on each side. She walks up. She opens up the car. She unloads on him. What did you see in that case?
In that case, well, first off, the headlines for it was he was pulled over because of air freshener, was whatever the bullshit was, and everyone was like, "Oh, he was pulled over because of air freshener. Police just want to kill us," you know. So after that, yeah, they're just basically doing their job correctly and all that stuff. And then this nigga is like, you know, I'm gonna try to fight him because, you know, he had a warrant out for his arrest.
Okay.
He's gonna try to fight off the cops and get into a car and leave and shit. You know, no one was expecting this. So this is like spur of the moment, real quick, what's happening right now, you know? Because at first he was cool. Saying,
so Vicky, so do you agree? Hold on. So do you agree that, so it's not like you agreeing that shooting somebody is okay as a first option? No,
that's not the first option at all. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
I'm saying do not put yourself in a situation where it can either be a mishap or any of that shit. Don't put yourself in no situation like that.
So you're saying don't run.
I want to speak that into existence because anyone can make a mistake out of.
Hold on. So you're saying, hold on. So Vicky, you're saying don't run if they say freeze.
Freeze? No, that's not what that nigga was doing.
No, that's not what I asked you. You said don't put yourself in a situation where it can go wrong. We've been shot in the back for running from the police. So are you saying if the police say for you to freeze, you should not run?
Well, that would be the smart thing to do. I mean, what do you want me to say? Run away? No. That would be a smart. All the niggas in the hood, they don't do all that shit. I ain't never seen no niggas do the shit I see on TV.
Y'all. If y'all doing anything wrong, do not have Vicky around, present, or even notify her of anything because you're gonna be fucked. I swear to God, do not let her know nothing. She asked to get mad. Oh well, don't tell her shit.
I watched the Dante Wright thing and shit, and the second she did it, she knew she fucked up.
That's good, Miss
like her whole entire career, she knew it. She bust out into tears instantly. She's like, "Fuck," you know, and she was on the ground rolling. She did not want to do that. That was not She was about to leave the fort. She spent her whole entire career and that shit never happened.
Look, you got somebody with you. Miss Star says she agreed with you. Freeze means stops. And freeze means run, motherfucker, run.
We gotta just don't even put yourself in a situation. And if I rape somebody, or if I did something, robbed somebody, pistol whipped them and shit, and I know I got a warrant out for my arrest, I don't think I'm gonna try to fight it. You know, you did what you did. Now you got to go to jail for it. You know, you pistol whip someone's father in front of their son.
Yeah,
you know, so you gotta
get your good Samaritan ass up here.
No, no.
Get on, man. Get on somewhere, man. Nobody want to hear that shit no more. Sorry about that.
We can't be real.
That shit. Nah, you can be real. You speaking your truth, and I appreciate that, but we ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, no,
right,
because if we're not doing that, then we're being victims. And I don't want us to be victims. I want us to be smart.
Oh, man, come on, man. Nobody trying to get arrested. I don't give a fuck what I do. I'm not freezing for shit.
Oh, then you gonna be dead. I don't want you to die. I'm trying to help you.
Well, I shoot back, so if it is, that's what it's meant to be. Shit. Fuck it. All right, but look, though, we're going to tap into the next topic, you guys. You know, unfortunately, racism is still around. Black man works hard, gets paid, goes into the bank, and I'm pretty sure you know how it goes. Except there's a few, what I believe, racist remarks that said, and on top of that, the man was cuffed for no reason other than trying to cash his check. He waited for the police to arrive in the banker's room. He didn't cause any threat or harm to anybody. He explained himself as best as he could. Even after the check was verified, legit and real, they still wanted him to go an extra mile for no fucking reason. So let's tap into this story and let's hear how fucked up this shit is.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Dorn. This night, accused, handcuffed, humiliated. Tonight, 5 Investigate shows us what happened to a young black man in Columbia Heights who was trying to cash his paycheck. Lawyers and advocates say his experience is part of a little phenomenon known as banking while black. That man tells investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen he was racially profiled when a manager called police minutes after he walked into a U.S. bank branch last year. This is a story you will only see on Nightcast.
That man, Joe Morrow, spoke with us in detail about what happened. U.S. Bank, however, would not go on camera. It settled with Morrow after we started asking questions, but we were still able to obtain police body camera video of that incident that the bank did not want you to see. When police got the call to a busy U.S. Bank branch in Columbia Heights last year, a call for a fraudulent check and a suspect posing a threat. This is how they found 23-year-old Mississippi native Joe Morrow sitting in a chair in the bank manager's leaning back with his hands folded. Police blurred out branch manager John Asquith as state law requires because he did not want us to see or hear him in the video. Morrow wanted everyone to know what happened.
I just got through working like 12 hours, I think.
His job at UNFI, a grocery supplier better known as SuperValue in Hopkins. Closer to home, Morrow stopped here at U.S. Bank in Columbia Heights to cash his paycheck for $900. Despite having an account, that simple transaction was anything but.
They was all looking at me and just staring at me. And then looking at the check and then staring at me again. I'm like, now I'm already knowing like what they thinking, the check fake. The manager, he came over and said, Joe Morrow, your check fake. And I said, what? He said, you people are always coming in here with fake checks.
Who do you think he meant?
Black people.
Hell no, she not me.
Morrow continued pleading his case with Police Sergeant Justin Pletcher in the room. Morrow's claim of racial profiling immediately met with this warning.
Joe, I need you to calm down, first of all, okay? Don't say anything stupid because you're just going to get arrested for it. All right.
Still sitting in the chair as the sergeant held his ID and his check, Morrow insisted it was the bank who owed him an explanation.
They called me in front of everybody talking about this is a fake check. That ain't a fake check. I worked there.
We could confirm that.
2 minutes later,
What's his name?
Joe.
A second officer arrives and the bank manager asks police to take Morrow to an adjacent office.
The manager told the officer, like, can you get him out of my office? He might touch anything on my desk. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's when I got super mad. Like, what? I'm gonna touch something on your desk.
Joe.
That anger only visible for a second.
Joe, let's go over there, man.
When he complies with officers' orders and stands up.
Okay, let's get stuff.
A split second Morrow says he'll never forget.
Like definitely when I got handcuffed and stuff, everybody looking like when I'm coming out of his office, I was handcuffed, so people looking.
How did that make you feel?
Like crazy, like I'm a criminal or something, like I'm doing like something bad, like I actually came here with a fake check.
In his report, the sergeant later wrote that Morrow flexed at John, the bank manager, in a threatening manner.
I didn't threaten him. I got up, like, you know, in the like, you know, like a mad.
Do you have anything on you that could hurt harm Colleen anyway?
Still handcuffed, Morrow offered more evidence of his innocence.
I got the check stub. Neil said what day it started and all that, and how many hours I worked, all that. I could have came here and showed them that.
According to the police report, the bank manager said he'd received a lot of fraudulent checks using the UNFI logo. Morrow says the manager claimed he already called the company and confirmed the check was fake.
So who do we need to call?
But this body camera video shows the bank manager did not actually make that critical call until after Morrow was already in handcuffs.
So it's a real
Fine. See, it's the racist
Morrow
bullshit.
confirmed the check was in fact real.
There's no question in my man, if he'd been white, this would never happen.
5 Investigates showed the video to a community leader. Are you seeing that okay?
I am.
The founder of a nationally recognized implicit bias training program for police.
But this is Minnesota. This is not who we are.
And University of Minnesota professor Samuel Myers Jr. In 2015, he authored this study of discriminatory practices at banks in the Twin Cities, and he's focused on racial disparities in financial transactions for 35 years.
I wish I could say that this was abolition. I wish we could say that this was an outlier. But it happens a lot.
Myers, who is deaf,
So this is it here.
watched the body camera video with us over Zoom with the assistance of captioning.
We as Black people are aware that these things happen at banks, at grocery stores, at supermarkets. This is a classic example of instances where things escalated beyond what they needed to escalate to.
Okay, Joe, let's get these cuffs up.
But Morrow's ordeal did not end when the handcuffs came off.
Joe, can I talk to you man to man real quick?
For more than 10 minutes, Morrow remained in this office.
They're making fake checks with that logo on it, right?
Sergeant Pletcher.
I can't show you how to shoot a basketball.
Pletcher did most of the talking.
So what the branch manager has to do is call and make sure it's a good check. I need you to stay calm for that, okay? Because when you start acting like this, it makes you look even guilty.
No, not guilty.
No, I know. I'm saying, but when you start getting upset and irate, it makes you look guilty.
Well, you're acting guilty. And so the question is, what is acting guilty? Tell me, what is acting guilty?
Right. Let
I'm
them know.
sorry, but this is who I am. You blame me for creating the racism that he feels.
Don't do anything stupid.
It was another part of this exchange that struck a nerve with Tyrone Terrell.
So play calm, play cool, and wait for you to be validated. Okay?
Oh my God.
The former director of the St. Paul Department of Human Rights and the president of the
sergeant
African
ass need
American
to go,
Leadership
too.
Council says the sergeant's choice of words matters.
Wait to be validated. That's 450 years of history of slavery. Do we got to still wait for white America to validate us? Come on.
Columbia Heights police declined our request for an interview, but in a statement, Chief Lenny Austin said his department reviewed the incident and found the officers' actions were reasonable and they conducted themselves professionally.
And if you feel it's a racist thing, okay, handle it different.
Sergeant Pletcher wouldn't go on the record with us, but still sent us links to network news programs.
If I'm not on the same side as my community, then I am failing them and I am failing this badge.
He was praised on national TV for how he handled a call involving a black health inspector 2 days after the death of George Floyd.
I think we need more police officers to speak up.
But Pletcher is not talking about this video that few have seen until now. There are going to be plenty of people, I imagine, who will say, this officer acted admirably. He spoke calmly. He told them to calm down.
Plenty of white people. I'm looking through the lens of a black man who dealt with too many of these cases.
Was the so-called flinching, visible in the video?
Well, I'll take you back to it. Lori Pradell is a professor at the University of South Florida and the founder of the Fair and Impartial Policing Training Program.
I did not discern anything in the video that showed Mr. Morrow as being threatening. Maybe they saw things that I did not see.
Exactly.
Or maybe
You
this
didn't
could
see
be
shit. They
related
jumped
to
up.
one of the implicit
That's not
associations that's well documented in the research. And that research shows that many of us see more threat in people of color.
Pradell commended the sergeant for doing what she called a debrief with Morrow and advising him that he could file a complaint against the bank.
This is very important in policing. You know, when you've had an interaction, sometimes it can be very tension reducing to sit down with the person and say, okay, this is what was going on.
But that tension still apparent a year later.
No, I'm a little nervous with the cameras, but yeah.
When Morrow sat down with us for this interview. By that time, his lawyer had sent 2 letters to U.S. Bank demanding a settlement and an explanation.
They've never taken any accountability. They've never truly apologized to Mr. Morrow.
In October, U.S. Bank declined our request to interview manager Asquith or anyone else with the bank, and instead sent us this statement saying U.S. Bank is committed to fairness toward everyone we serve, regardless of race, adding, we dispute the facts as they're being portrayed to you. 2 weeks later, the bank quietly reached an undisclosed settlement, meaning no one with U.S. Bank or Morrow can ever talk about what happened here again.
Hey, Joe, man. I'm sorry you had to go through this, man.
It sound like my nigga got paid, y'all.
Now confidential.
Like my nigga got paid.
Again, what's almost lost in all of this is that Joe Morrow was already a customer with U.S. Bank, says he had an account there. We reached back out to U.S. Bank one more time, and last week a spokesperson added that the bank's own internal investigation found nothing to indicate that Morrow's race was a factor in the service he received. Of course, as you heard, lawyers, experts, and advocates are not convinced. They say this is part of what's been called banking while black. And in fact, in the last year, more people have been sharing their stories, Kevin. We'll hear from some of them tomorrow and look at what's being done about this.
Eric, your report.
I can't wait to hear what the fuck you got to say about this, Vicky.
What?
What do you think about this situation? Was they wrong? Or she shouldn't have jumped out of his chair?
Well, when it comes to businesses like that, they need to be held liable. Like, you cannot lie and stuff when things are getting heated and shit. You start lying and saying that you went back and you checked to verify with the people. You didn't do none of that shit. So
right.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be repercussions for that shit. That's BS.
Well, salute to homie, because you know, even though it's a non-disclosure attached to it, they definitely wrote him a check that he felt was good enough for what he went through. So I guess we made it right. It's still fucked up though that U.S. Banks has came out and said that they don't feel it was a racist issue, which means either they support it low key or they're just still blind to that fact. They did right by writing homie a check, but they should have also acknowledged that definitely was a racist act, because there was nothing else to make them feel that way to the point to where police had to been called in, cuffed, etc. What you wanted to say?
No, I feel like it's more impactful if you say that it was unlawful what the person did. Like, let's just eliminate race shit. You know, what you did was against the law. You lied. What you did was wrong. I can sue you for it. Your company can go down for it. For any person that you do this to. Like what you did was bullshit.
That's why they wrote him that check.
Yeah. And they're going to keep writing checks if you don't get your shit in order.
Right. No racism. No
racism
to be tolerated. Asset is its people. Not exactly a new thought. Why then is it novel to say the health of a business is absolutely
I ain't mad at you, shit. They fuck up. If you can get paid, get it.
Remember I who was handcuffed. Thank you.
Come on, start with this shit.
Black. Okay, remember that story? Well, the bank manager, something has happened to that bank manager. Let me give it the update. let me remind you of Joe Morrow. Let's put up a picture of Joe Morrow. Completely innocent, went there to cash his check. His check was appropriate. They decided to tell him, you people always have fake checks. That's what the bank manager told him, you people. Well, they finally called his job after calling the police.
What's good, Mr. Loser?
This is a real check. He's one of us. He works for us. All right. The head of U.S. Bank is now apologizing for what is being called a classic example of banking while black. After accused of fraud and put in handcuffs while trying to cash his check, as 5 investigators first reported this week, a U.S. bank manager in Columbia Heights called police to report a possible fraudulent check and a suspect posing a threat. Joe Morrow's check was real, but police body camera video shows the manager didn't call to verify that fact until after Morrow was in handcuffs. They wanted him locked up. Joe Morrow, 23, had just finished a 12-hour shift at a grocery distributor in October when he tried to cash a $900 check at a branch in Columbia Heights, Minnesota. The teller serving him called a manager over. They were all looking at me and just staring at me, and then at the check, and then staring at me again, and I'm already knowing what they're thinking. The check is fake. Morrow said in an interview with KTSP TV of Minneapolis about the incident of banking while black. The manager, he came over and said, Joe Morrow, your check is fake. And I said, what? Morrow recalled. He said, you people always coming in here with fake checks.
You people, huh?
Let's put up a picture of the manager. John Askwith. Well, guess what? That fake check, which was a real check, John, just got you a real firing. He is gone. Okay? They eventually called, the employer confirmed it, and naturally it got significant attention. And so the update is that branch manager is no more. And we need to continue to expose things like this. Social discrimination, just doing regular stuff. And because you're black, you are called you people. All right, Doc, what are your thoughts on this one?
You people.
Well, I could not agree more. I mean, don't. I mean, the moniker "you people," right? That goes back since the beginning of the country, and it really is a very derogatory framing that implies, oh, you people are not. You shouldn't be using the bank. You don't have a right to finance, to capital, to any kind of betterment in a certain kind of way. We know Ross Perot, for example, got in trouble for using that during the Republican primary many years ago, and factors like that. And so, in a way, it just speaks to the ongoing nature of implicit bias and why implicit bias is so important to continually assess and call out in a particular way. And it sounds like the right outcome happened here, but again, it's the same story. How many times has this happened where it didn't make it onto Facebook, it didn't make it onto television, and it's just kind of the everyday microaggression of stuff like this?
Yeah, one silver lining here, the young man, Mr. Joe Morrow, did receive a settlement from the bank. Naturally, there's now an institution of diversity training. These things are moving in the right direction. And first, the bank denied any wrongdoing. Now, because shows like this would not let it go at that. They are changing their tune.
This next-gen space heater is a brand new way to
Well,
warm
he
up.
just lost his job, and I'm pretty sure bank managers make a nice, pretty penny. So his racist ass is gone. I'm pretty sure ain't no other major bank gonna hire his punk ass. What you think now, Vic? Did they fix it? Finally fix the situation?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Though, like, if you do things, like if someone did that to me, I'm already in my phone. I'm looking up your policy on how you verify fraudulent checks. I'm already doing all that shit. I'm like, okay, so you got to do this, and that, and I know you didn't do that. So you know, I'm getting all my documentation because I'm about to go to my attorney because I have an attorney on speed dial. And I'm about to get this shit situated right now.
Right. Well, you know, the CEO finally came out and apologized because they so far have investigated 5 incidents of banking while black, and his company and their staff was in the wrong. Let's hear what they're talking about.
CEO of U.S. Bank is apologizing after 5 investigators revealed a black customer
accused of fraud and handcuffed while trying to cash his paycheck. This week, investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen first showed you police body camera video from inside that bank branch there in Columbia Heights. Eric now tells us why the bank is no longer defending how that customer was treated.
In this letter to the community, CEO Andy Cecere now takes full responsibility for how customer Joe Morrow was treated at a branch in Columbia Heights last year. The manager of that branch called police and accused Morrow of fraud after he tried to cash his paycheck last year. But the body camera video we aired earlier this week shows officers briefly handcuffed and detained Morrow before the bank called his employer and confirmed the check was real. Our story is bringing nationwide attention to an issue that civil rights advocates call banking while black. In the letter shared with us just this afternoon, Cecere writes he is deeply sorry for where we failed. He goes on to say U.S. Bank is revisiting and expanding employee training. That commitment addressing at least some of the demands made in the last 24 hours from the Racial Justice Network, a local civil rights.
They can't just put on their website that they value diversity and inclusion and equity, and then when they have the opportunity to live those values, to turn the other way.
Salute to the CEO of U.S. Bank finally coming out of his high chair to address this shit. What's good, Swirl Gang, a.k.a. Miss Janice in the building. All right, this one's going to be quick, y'all. As we've seen from some of these rappers, assassination is real. But it just don't happen with rappers. It can happen to anybody.
Here's a question. What is the one business?
A lot of these assassinations
that if
they happen either with the vehicle or
the entire world would come to.
So you guys check this shit out and tell me what you think.
Video of a black BMW and 3 suspects in a deadly shooting in the Bronx. 21-year-old Sergio Jimenez was shot and killed by 3 men in a black BMW who pulled up alongside
Look at
the
this
vehicle.
shit, y'all.
It happened around 10:15 on December 5th in the area of East 102nd Street and Townsend Avenue. That's in the Mount Eden section of the borough. An 18-year-old female passenger was shot in the hand and back. If you have information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-577-TIPS.
I'll let y'all check that out one more time, y'all.
Police have released video of a black BMW and 3 suspects in a deadly shooting in the Bronx. 21-year-old Sergio Jimenez was shot and killed by 3 men in a black BMW who pulled up alongside the vehicle. It happened around 10:15 on December 5th in the area of East 102nd Street and Townsend Avenue. That's in the Mount Eden section of the borough. An 18-year-old female passenger was shot in the hand and back. If you have information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-577-TIPS.
Damn, a girl was actually a target in that as well. What you think about that shit you just saw, Vic?
It kept on skipping, so I couldn't really see. Tell me what happened.
But if it was skipping for you, it probably was skipping for everybody else. So hold on.
No, because my phone be skipping whenever I'm on live with this.
Okay, well, basically, the car drove up on another car. Maybe started letting off. 2 gunmen. One lady was hitting her on hand. A lady was hitting the back. And I don't know what happened to the other person, but basically, this was just a pull-up assassination. And they obviously knew who they were shooting at. So the shit was crazy.
And you said it was rappers?
No, I said we've seen this type of shit with rappers, but it do happen to regular people as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. all the time.
Hey man, y'all feel free to hit the stream link and call in, y'all. Y'all know y'all all welcome on the show. I want to hear y'all opinion as well. Y'all letting Vicky get all the motherfucking shine.
I don't mind that.
Vicky loving it though. Y'all letting her get all the damn shine, all the damn opinion.
All the attention.
Attention whore.
No, nobody got no comments for what I was saying about the police officers. None of that. I know y'all do.
No, nobody want to debate with that bullshit you on.
I know they got something.
Now, this is another problem I have with the police, you guys. It seems like I could tell by just watching the video that the encounter that the police department is going to have with this guy, you're dealing with someone who's clearly not there, whether it's mental, whether it's drugs. You can just clearly tell that this man isn't all the way there. You even can tell he's not all the way there to a point to where he might need psychiatric help. But it's funny that we see time after time, police don't give a fuck. You do what they say, you listen, you kiss their ass, or they fuck you up, whether you normal, disability, mental, drug. They don't give a fuck.
Is this a white guy?
Yes, I believe so. And I feel bad for this because, like I said, I quickly was able to recognize that this dude was not all there, and he didn't deserve the ass whooping that he got.
Walk out here. Left. Left. There you go. Yep, that way. Oh, what? Go that way. Walk over to my car. Do you see that car right there?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you hold on to your dog.
Huh?
Your dog's
I
small,
know, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine, sir.
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Oh, it's just for me. Just for me.
What drugs do you take today?
Meth, sir. I'm just tripping so hard.
Obviously.
You just told him he's taking meds.
Okay. I want you to
Clearly
use your 2
told
feet
him.
and walk over to my car.
Look at him.
Okay.
Look at me. Walk over to my car.
Hey, bro. For real?
For real. Walk over to my car. Before I make you walk over to my car and take your dog. And guess what? You won't have a dog anymore. Is that what you want?
No,
Why are you fucking with this dude like that?
Hold on to your
Hold on.
Okay, sit down.
Sit down. Stop.
Sit down. Sit down.
Okay.
Stay there. Stay there. Stop. 55 seconds, whatever. Stop. Stop. You hear me? You hear me? Put your hand behind your back.
Stop, please.
You're under arrest. Okay. Put your hands behind your back.
He's not moving.
Put your hands
He's
behind
not
your back.
resisting.
Hello?
He's just trying to call somebody.
Put your
He's
hands behind your
scared.
back.
He's nervous.
Hello?
He's not all the way there, dude. You already know how this is about to go. Watch this punk shit. Police are punks. That's what it's
Please stop it!
Thank you.
They tasered this man. Yes, he's resisting, but he's probably nervous. He's afraid. This dude is going all the way there. Now he's going to beat down. They already socked him, but watch the blows to the head, though. Multiple blows to the head. They cut the video. You see how they cut that shit? But if you pay attention, you can still see from the other camera they hit him all in his head. rewind it just a little bit.
Thank you.
They both hit him in his head. That's good audio. See you tapped in on the IG.
Stop resisting! Relax! No! Calm down! Stop resisting! You understand that?
You see the blood on the floor?
Stop! Hey! Calm down! Stop
They
moving!
ain't beat this nigga's
I'm
face
trying to
in.
hurt
You
you!
talking about calm down.
Stop!
I believe that's all his blood on the ground.
She can go! I said there's already. Hobble. I said there's one. Yeah, hobble. Yeah. Gotcha. Hobble leg shackles. My brother's got everything.
Hobble leg shackles.
My brother has everything. I said everything. I don't know. Stop right now. Dog over there. Stop. Stop moving. Hold still. Relax. No. 450 target. Stop. Hey, calm down. We got an ambulance on the way. Okay, calm down. I might have one in my car. I already got beat. Right here. Please stop it.
I should have shackles.
No, but my God, stop it. Stop it. No. No.
You got one?
No. God, please, no. No.
Roger.
All this for trespassing, dude. Are you guys serious?
I don't know. I was gonna get his name
All
and
this
then
for
I was
trespassing.
sitting in my car. He's like, hey, Corporal. I was like, sit in my car. And I was like, sit in my fucking car.
Social Security 504. 225. 504. 522.
God.
Please. Please.
There you go.
Please.
Was that? Sorry.
No.
Yeah, go for it, man.
No. Oh, I love my life. Oh my God.
Is everybody all right?
Yeah.
You good? Want to swap out there? Huh? Yeah. Is it okay?
No.
Dog line? Hey, look at me. You get punched? You get punched? That has blood on your lip.
Did you get cut on your lip?
Yeah, Spencer, tag out. What do you guys? Tag out. Yeah, let's go. Get it.
This man obviously is not all
Alright. Boys, girls, what car are we on then? Probably the closest one. Spencer's car, right? Spencer, is this your car? Yeah. Alright. Listen, Gary? That's a pretty big boy. 4 of us. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Stop. Please stop it.
And let's watch out for positional section.
Don't move.
Sit down, easy. Hey.
Hey, no. I just don't
Who's
know. if
taking
it's
a
from-
problem, Clara?
Do we have to? Is what I'm wondering because.
He hit his head?
Oh.
Or you punch him?
Oh.
So nobody gave his do any kind of medical attention or nothing. Just whoop his ass and throw him in the back seat. Over trespassing, y'all. Trespassing. Probably sitting in the store too damn long. Is it this fucking serious?
Huh. That was cool.
He came in the store, him and his girl were arguing, and then he stood behind here and he wouldn't leave. That's what I
Where's
told
his
you.
girl at?
No idea.
Was he in a vehicle?
No.
Where's the dog?
No idea.
So his girl and the dog all came in the store? What'd the dog look like?
Brown and white.
You know about what breed?
It's a pit bull. Red nose.
All right. So they're arguing. Didn't they get physical between the two of them?
Huh?
Didn't they get physical between the two of them?
No, but she has come up here a couple times speaking up.
Do you know her name? No. All right. And
She's come up here to try to call you guys because her name was speaking.
All right. So she comes here fairly frequently?
Huh?
She comes here fairly frequently?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry too, dude. I get the last thing anyone wants to do is talk to the police, but
I don't like you. That's just me.
Hey,
Bad
that's cool. But we come here for a reason, so we obviously got
You called them, nigga. For a nigga who don't like the police, you sure called them. You weird ass nigga.
So does she leave?
I assuming.
Because a nigga was just hanging around the gas
And then
station.
what does he start doing
He
in
didn't
the store?
steal nothing. He didn't threaten nobody.
He was.
You pussy ass nigga.
His stuff is still over there too. I don't know. These two kind of arguing at each other, and then she started to walk off, and then he got scared or something. He walked behind here. I tried to push him back to get him out.
Behind the counter?
Yeah. And he kept pushing back, and we went all around to the back. Adrian was trying to get him to leave, and just wouldn't leave. He's like, I'm high, I'm tripping, and I'm scared.
What was he trying to do behind the counter?
No idea.
Did he make it back behind the counter?
No, he didn't get past like this part. He just got back like in the kitchen area. He didn't get behind. He didn't get close to the registers or nothing.
All
He didn't
right.
try to.
So he said he's high and scared, and once you pushed him back, where did he go?
Stood back there. He wouldn't leave.
Back behind the counter, or is back in the store? Back in the office?
Yeah. Well, the office isn't open. It's closed. But in that area.
And you guys told him multiple times to leave, and he wouldn't?
Yeah. She could probably explain it better than me.
All right.
All
right. And so, and then once the officers got here, what happened?
He got out. He wanted to go to the car, and that's when 5, 6 of you guys showed up.
All right. So did he follow the officer out of the store?
Yeah, he followed him up to about the sidewalk, and he went up to the car. Resisting, I guess.
Did it get physical?
A little bit.
What happened?
He went and walked.
And so what did the officer do?
I was just talking. I didn't just,
But I just want to know what did you observe, dude? So
I
you wouldn't go to the car, and so then what happened?
I got it all on video. So.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, first you tackled him, and then the girl came.
Was he fighting?
Huh?
Was he fighting, resisting?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looked like. 5 of you guys hitting him and shit.
No, the suspect.
Yeah. I'm saying,
So he was resisting being taken to arrest?
Was he resisting?
I'm asking you.
I don't know if he was resisting.
You have to give what you feel because.
Yes, he was resisting. That's what it looked like. I mean, 6 of you guys on him.
He was just in there where the cashiers are and standing back there being a weirdo. And I was just like, dude, you need to get the fuck out of their space. Like, you know, you don't got a mask. You just need to get out of there. So we started going, then hesitated, then they came in. And
the cops came in?
And then one of them came in and told them to walk out. And then he just kept flipping out like being an idiot, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. What happened when you got out here? Did you see what happened?
The dog was going towards them, so I grabbed the dog.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that.
Pulled it away and fucking got the dog over there.
Okay, cool.
Gave it to a lady to take out. But yeah, the dog was going after them.
Okay. And what about him? What was he doing? Was he going after him too?
Him?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he was already on the ground by then.
Oh, but the dog was coming through. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this situation.
What'd you say?
What do you think about that situation? You feel like he was wrong, and what do you feel like happened in that situation with him and the police officer?
Well, I've dealt with mental clients and stuff like that. I had a lot of problems, especially with my white clients too. They I feel like the police were just too brutal with her. I don't to the point I would start collecting evidence, take it to the sheriff's office, and talk to the for us to get something. So I understand like police brutality, but I feel like we gotta stop making everything about us and it's only black people kind of thing in order for us to really get some progress done. Because you'll be surprised, like so many Mexicans get targeted, white people, trailer park trash, all these different people. And if we actually came together for police reform, it's like the government don't want that to happen.
Okay.
And they trying everything in their power, so they don't understand that it's just you black people. That's it, And then
I just came across your story real fast, and I see you got something with the Shade Room. You said that they're running with the Democratic Party, huh?
They are.
Okay. Why you feel that way? Let me know about that real fast.
Well, the Shade Room's horrifically biased with anything they report. If it's anything like negatively reflecting the Democratic Party, they're not going to post it. Like with all the rapes and stuff with children and stuff, because the Democrat Party is trying to combine the male and female restrooms and children's schools and stuff like that. They're not going to talk about that. That's not going to be one of their posts they post about, because the Democrat Party wants to combine the restrooms regardless of all the rapes that have been happening across the country with their new policy.
Yeah, we got a whole lot to say, yeah. You really into this whole political thing, huh?
I am.
What's good, Dark House? And what?
Yeah, and I just feel like black people, they need to start waking up, looking up policies, looking up what the fuck they're doing. Just because they say they aren't racist and they want the best for black people does not mean that's true. Look up. Your daughter's about to start getting raped in these restrooms. Guess what? Chicago just opened up the no boys and girls, all of them collaborated restroom idea. They just started implementing that in Chicago, of all places. Check on your kids. Make sure they didn't get raped in the restroom. Thank you, Democratic Party, for that.
Damn, you blaming that on them motherfuckers? God damn.
They're the ones who are implementing it.
Man, we got a lot of shit popping on though, but we finally actually in this show is at the end. We got one more subject coming in, you guys. There's not much detail in it, but I definitely want you to check out. This is definitely not a joyful story, man. This black brother which is embarrassing to say, then got this 11-year-old girl pregnant, and it was found out through DNA it was his child. That's how they know he did it. This nigga stewed for it, hopefully. But let's tap in and find out what the let's find out what's going on before we place judgment on him. Appreciate you hitting that sub button, Bradley. Welcome to the Hood Unlocked, folks.
Anything you want to say, sir?
No. Exclusive dramatic video tonight of a man deputies say got an 11-year-old girl pregnant. Derek Burris didn't have much to say when he was arrested.
But our cameras were rolling when he blew up during a bond hearing. 7 News reporter Nikel Smith has details on this case that the Child Advocacy Center says should be a wake-up call for the community.
Tonight, video you'll only see here on 7 News.
Shut up. Don't talk in here. Don't talk in here.
The man deputies say got an 11-year-old pregnant walking out on his own bond hearing.
He's not gonna get bond anyway. He's bond denied. I think that's that bond. Anything carries up to life in prison.
Investigators say Derek Kendall Burris assaulted a girl and got her pregnant at 11 years old. Detectives say she is related to an acquaintance of the suspect, and DNA proves Burris is the father of the now 12-year-old girl's baby. Investigators say the girl originally told school personnel the assault was by someone closer to her age and eventually told them it was Burris.
Anything you want to say, sir?
No.
This wasn't Burris's first run-in with the law. We checked with the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division and learned that back in 2004, he was charged with armed robbery with a deadly weapon and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But it's his charge this year that'll impact the young girl's life forever, according to Susie Cole with the Children's Advocacy Center.
It used to be that people would try to sweep abuse under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. And what we know is it doesn't go away.
She says the center is seeing record numbers of assault allegations, but blatant signs like a pregnancy are rare. So parents need to open a dialogue with their kids.
Or at least in our experience, more than 95% of children are not abused by a stranger, but by somebody they know.
She says she hopes this case is a wake-up call to the community. In Spartanburg County, Nikel Smith, 7 News.
Whoo, Vicky, what do you think about this sick shit, baby girl?
He a bitch. it be the ones that you think won't do it, you know? That won't be on that bullshit.
Have you seen how the nigga stormed out like as if he ain't did shit? Nigga, like the DNA just said it's your baby, bro. So nigga, you smashing bro.
How can you do that to a child?
12-year-old mother now, my nigga. Like, nigga, what the fuck? And I believe they said he was probably your mama boyfriend, or most likely some shit like that. They say he was a friend of the family, though, right?
Yeah, acquaintance. Yeah. Ugh.
How do you get somebody's child that young alone enough to even do some shit like that? Because there's no way in hell your kid should be out your sight that fucking long at that age unless they're in school or, you know, some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, any situation or scenario could happen that, you know, you might not have known during that time that occurred because you just had respect for the person or something, and you would never think they'll do something like that.
And
You
look,
know,
not to cut you off, this just show how dumb this nigga is, though. Like, you went to the extent to where not only was you wrong, fucked up, and foul for doing it, but you was actually releasing your sperm in this little girl. What you thought was gonna happen? I guess he was one of them dumb niggas that felt like because of her age she couldn't get pregnant. Is that possibly what probably could have happened?
yeah, because 11 is very young, so she must have hit puberty early.
So now, correct me. Women have to hit puberty first before they can get pregnant, or can they just get pregnant at any time as long as there's, of course, semen involved?
I believe you have to hit puberty because, you know, it's like you got to chop your cherry type of shit, whatever,
Right.
and do all that. You know what? I need to look back into that. That's a good ass question.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that because, you know, when you first have sex, you know, they say pop your cherry and shit, but then you ain't gotta be on your cycle for that to happen.
Right, and you can still
I gotta
get
look back
pregnant
into
before
that.
your
Damn.
cycle too. I think women have gotten pregnant before they had their cycle before.
I thought you had to have your cycle. Yeah, you gotta have your cycle. You gotta have
You
your cycle.
sure? 100% sure?
Yeah, because they say now you're a woman, now you can get pregnant. Yeah, you gotta have your cycle.
Okay, so if you get your cherry pop before you have your period,
Mhm.
right? You still can't get pregnant until you start having a period. You sure?
Yeah, because that's how you fertilize the egg. Yeah. You gotta have a
Okay,
period.
okay.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. That's crazy. All right, y'all. Well, look though, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I got one more show I'm gonna do in a couple of hours. Vicky, I appreciate you sliding through. Go ahead and tell them where to find you at before I get up out of here.
Final words. You guys think I'm a police lover? No, I'm not. But at the same time, a couple instances I wouldn't be here because of them. So you know, there's a little bit of level of respect there. So you can find me at Instagram VictoriaTide_2020 or Facebook Victoria Tide.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching and tapping in. I'm gonna try to tap in with y'all later though before I end the night. As always, I'm Sensei Official. I'd like to welcome you motherfuckers to the Hood on Lock. I'll see y'all motherfuckers next time. Peace. What's up? You welcome to Singer, and I'd like to welcome you to the Hood on Lock. King of content.